Okay, so now I want to talk to you about leverage versus time frames. So you'll notice in your Binance, you have time frames. 1 day, 4 hours, 1 hour, etc. Right? Now, most people where they trade is in the 1 day, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 5 minutes. But keep in mind that the higher the time frame, the higher the percentage. Because in the daily, things can go up 10-15% versus, let's say in the 5 minutes, things can go up 0.5% to 1% maybe. The higher the time frame, the more percentage you're going to be taking. So what does this mean? It means that here where you see your leverage, if you're in the daily, only trade at 1x. If you're in the 4 hour, trade at 2x. If you're in the 1 hour, trade at 3x. If you're in the 5 minutes, trade at 5x, especially if you're a beginner. Later, you could adjust your leverage, right? But as a beginner, I suggest you to take as minimal risk as possible. And as for the size of your trade, only use 25% of your capital at a time. So just to make sure you understand, if I say, okay, I'm going to go in the daily, oops, I spot a trade somewhere, I'm going to adjust my leverage here to 1x, and I'm going to set it to 25% of my capital, and then I enter my trade whether I want to go long or short. If I'm in the 5 minutes, well, then my leverage is going to be higher. It could be 5x, 10x, 20x, depending on your experience, right? But start as low as possible. However, because in the 5 minutes, the percentage of profit is lower, you need to have at least a 5x here, right? So as opposed to in the daily, the 1 day, if you were in the 1 day, then I would suggest you to trade at 1x because the percentage of profit is much higher than it is, for example, in the 5 minutes. So just make sure that every time you enter a trade to notice in what time frame you're in and to adjust your leverage here. And always use only 25% of your capital for each trade you get in. Please move on to the next video.